now facing serious legal scrutiny after a tragic incident that has left many questioning the safety of the happiest place on earth. What happened? Who's responsible? And what does the future of Disney look like? Back to my channel. My name is Brittany Janae, and in today's video we are going to be diving into a story that is making waves across the nation, a wrongful death lawsuit that has shaken the magical kingdom of Disney World. In February of this year, a wrongful death lawsuit was filed against Disney World. The story revolves around Amy, a 42-year-old doctor from New York. Amy, her husband, and her mother were vacationing at Disney's famous resort when tragedy struck after a meal at the Irish pub located in Disney Springs. Now, Amy has severe allergy to both nuts and dairies, something she made crystal clear to the restaurant staff when ordering. She was assured repeatedly that her meal was safe, but within an hour of finishing her food, Amy began to have trouble breathing. Despite using her EpiPen, she tragically passed away at a nearby hospital due to, and I may mess this word up, anaphylactic shock. So basically, her husband's filed this lawsuit of wrongful death, claiming that Disney was liable for her death. And so the big thing that has got... Hey guys, Editing Brittany here. I just want to provide an update that Disney is no longer trying to go to arbitration, but they are allowing this case to go to court and welcoming litigation. I just wanted to provide that update, but still continue to watch the video, like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know what you guys' thoughts are. See you in the next video. So essentially what happened was Disney filed a motion to compel arbitration, trying to basically force this man into arbitration because in 2019 on his PlayStation, he signed a agreement without realizing when he signed up for a free trial of this streaming services that he waived all rights to have litigation and he would go into arbitration, which is diabolical, which is absolutely insane. And it's just like, I don't know anyone or any judge rather, that would buy that legal argument in a court of law and would uphold that when this man's wife died on the Disney property, eating at a restaurant that was on their property, right? So I don't see any judge in the court of law upholding that, forcing them into arbitration because of what he signed up for in 2019. And there's an argument to be made that he within himself signed up for that, right? But not his wife. And he's filing this lawsuit on her estate, on her behalf, right? So the other piece, which may be a stronger legal argument that Disney World has made, is that, hey, when you purchased the tickets to go to Disney World last year, you agreed to waiving all rights to a jury trial and going into or litigation, not jury trial, and you agreed to go into arbitration. And so the thing that's being said about arbitration is that it's quicker, it's easier, it's more cost effective, it's less expensive, you spend less time battling it out in the courtroom over the course of however many years this is going to take place, right? And so the thing with the arbitration is that, one, the husband may not get as, it depends. I'm not going to say he may not get as much money, but, and I kind of want to back this up because I'm a little bit all over the place, but what I want to back up to the discussion about Disney's argument regarding the streaming services. So, one of the things the court is going to should look at is, would a reasonable, keyword reasonable, prudent person under like circumstances know or have reasons to know or believe that they are signing away their rights or waiving the rights to go into litigation and going into arbitration first if they were to go on the Disney resort or Disney property and have an accident when you're just signing up for the streaming services. I don't think any reasonable, prudent person under similar circumstances would believe that. So I think they're going to fail with that argument. The stronger argument is going to come from when you purchase these tickets,
you waived your right to litigation and then you chose to go to arbitration first. So the thing people have going into arbitration is like, you really just don't know and what you're going to get when you go into arbitration. And it's likely Disney may pick the arbitrator. It's going to be on their playground, which is in Florida, with people that they know already. And they could possibly have in their back pocket. You don't know. And the arbitrator may offer a settlement or may not offer anything, or may offer more than what the man is asking for. You just don't know. But you also take that gamble when you go into litigation. You just don't know. But you probably would rather have, if it boils down to it, a jury trial. You would probably want to make up that community to make a decision as to whether or not do they believe that your wife's death was wrongfully caused on the property of Disney, and is Disney liable. Also, is Irish Pubs liable? So another thing to look at, right, as I was like doing my little research and trying to figure out like what is really going on with this lawsuit, is that there was this one person who said, if you look at the terms and agreement for Disney, whenever you're signing up for like the tickets or whatever, it does not necessarily say that you have to go into arbitration, but that you can litigate the matter. But if you litigate the matter, it has to be in some town in Florida. I'm not sure, but that's some things that I've heard in discussion, that the family can actually have some litigation, and they're not forced strictly to this arbitration that was in the contract that this man unknowingly agreed to. So the other component or piece to look at in this lawsuit, right, is the fact that a tragedy happened. Someone lost their life, and let's not lose focus of that. And that's the big thing that happened, right? A man has lost his wife. He has lost his partner. He has lost his significant other. Someone's daughter, is no longer, and I don't know if she was a mom, but she was a doctor. So a very important person in this world, right? Her life was tragically lost. And the other thing was the incident, yes, it took place on a Disney property, but the restaurant that the wife and husband went to apparently was not a Disney restaurant. It was a restaurant that was leasing out property on the Disney's property. So does that make Disney liable if that wasn't even a Disney restaurant, but just that they were a landlord and the Irish Pub restaurant was just a tenant? I think that this case has a lot of complex legal issues that the court is going to have, or that I just don't see that it's going to go into arbitration, and that may just be it. I think the courts may have to get involved at some point. We'll just have to see, right? Because there are some cases and some precedent out there that is in favor of Disney, being that they are the owner of the property, but they are not, they don't own the restaurant or the business that the business is sitting on, right? So there was a case similar to this with Airbnb, where a man who wasn't renting a property, but was on the property of an Airbnb home, and he lost his life, and he filed a wrongful death suit, and and his family was forced into arbitration. And the courts basically ruled like, hey, when this agreement was signed, you waived your right to litigation, and so they had to go into arbitration in that particular case. I guess the thing to look at, the bigger issue to me, is Disney didn't own this property. Now, what may be a doozy for them is if Disney knew or had reasons to know that this business that they were leasing their property to had prior complaints of people who went to the restaurant of saying like, hey, I was told multiple times that they were going to be able to accommodate my allergens or allergies, and they didn't, and I was exposed to whatever I was allergic to, right? That may hurt their argument in regards to them not being an owner of the business, but just an owner of the property, right? So this is a very interesting case. There's a lot going on. Will they have, I just don't think that Disney's going to be able to win the argument of the streaming services. I think that's, a very bold move, but because they don't necessarily own the business, but just the property, and if they have no reasons to believe that there's been issues in the past of this place dishing out food that has like allergens in it that people can't consume, then I think that's something to take into consideration for Disney in regards to their argument of not being liable. And maybe they will go into arbitration, because I don't necessarily think Disney is trying to get over. I just think their lawyers is trying to advocate as strongly as they can for this business, right? Because they don't own the property. So why are they being held responsible for something they don't have any knowledge about, is the current presumption. Until proven otherwise, like Disney had reasons to know, right? And I think the other thing that was discussed in that case is that the family who went to the restaurant actually, I think, used a Disney app. Now don't quote me, but I think they used a Disney app to locate restaurants that were allergen friendly and can accommodate their needs. And this was one of the restaurants on the Disney app that said this is an allergen friendly or accommodating restaurant. It is crazy, and I send my condolences to this man who lost his wife and is fighting for her, right? Because he wants her legacy to live on, and she was a doctor, and that's like, not that it makes it any more, important than someone else who has tragically lost their life. It's just the fact that this is such a sad situation, and I'm pretty sure no one who signs up for streaming services for Disney Plus would even imagine like they were waiving away their rights to litigation if they were to go to Disney World at some point. That means, and then I think it was a free trial, like a 7-day free trial or something like that. Absolutely diabolical and insane. So I want to know, what do you guys think about this? Do you feel like Disney should be held liable? Or do you think that because they did not own the property that this Irish pub restaurant was operating on, because they didn't own the business, should they be liable or should they not be liable because they didn't own the business and they may not have known? They were just being a landlord and leasing off the property. That's kind of like in a situation where you own the property, but you don't own the apartment complex. Like that's not your business, but you're just renting off the property, right, to whoever the business owner is of the apartment complex, and they up there, doing some illegal activity. Should the property owner be held responsible or liable, because illegal activity is taking place on their property, even though they don't own the apartment complex, and something goes down and someone gets hurt, someone passes away or something? Should that property owner be liable? I don't know. What do you guys think, right? Should, And I think the other conversation questions people I've seen had before I get off is that why only $50,000? The $50,000 is just a threshold, you guys. Like he's likely going to end up getting more money than that, probably millions of dollars, because Disney has it. Come on. And I'm not sure how much he's going to get from the Irish pubs, but he's going to get some money from this because at the end of the day, a tragedy happened. Someone lost their life. He's going to be compensated. However, this case raised a ton of questions, right? How far can a company stretch their terms of services? Should corporations be allowed to dodge serious legal claims with the click of a button? And at one point, do consumers' rights get trampled by corporate fine print? I don't know. As the legal battle continues, many of us are going to continue watching, not only because of the tragic loss of life, but because the outcome could have serious implications for how consumer agreements are interpreted in the future. And at the end of the day, this case is a reminder that the most magical places, real life, can sometimes take a dark turn. I'm going to continue keeping my good eye on this case so I can continue to provide you guys with updates on what is going to happen. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Do you think that Disney is going to win this legal battle? Are they going to be held liable? What do you guys think? Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. But also the most important thing is don't forget to stay informed, stay curious, and stay magical. I feel like I need one of those Disney wands. Bye.